shows. Sorry, it's a little bit, I wanted to start right at 9, but I was busy arguing with somebody that was horribly misinformed about a subject and was trying to tell me that I was incorrect, so I had to pull up state, local, and federal regulations on the governing of said events. We're not going to talk about what the event is because I don't want YouTube to take it down, but I was arguing with someone about it. So let's see who shows up first. Oh, I forgot my coffee. Someone's here. Don't mind the state of my beard. I didn't do anything this morning. Didn't comb my beard or anything. So what I was saying was I wanted to start right at 9, but no one was here. So the people that was for people. We're gonna watch it later. I was arguing state, local, and federal regulations that someone was trying to tell me I was wrong about pew pew purchases. I'll go ahead and say it. It was about gun shows, and they were trying to tell me that like gun shows qualify as person-to-person or private purchases, and therefore there's no background check. And I had to inform them that considering I did work several gun shows as in the capacity of my position working for the federal government, that they were absolutely incorrect, and provided them with the proper guidance. But who all's here? I saw Jared's here. What's going on, Jared? Here's your 2.0 with that fresh 600 grit edge touched on just a light touch on a ultrafine ceramic. What, you're saying I'm wrong or they were wrong? Imagine you're agreeing with me. It's really dark, guys. I'm sorry. I don't have any light on this side. Just touch it. It's just touching it. Just barely touching it, and it starts to bite. Who's here? Jared's here. Nathan's here. Is that it? Aiden's here. It says that on my side, it only tells me I have 3 people here. There are 2 people here. What's in my pocket today, guys? What's in y'all's pocket? Jared, what do you got in your pocket? I bet you got something interesting. I'll show mine after you show me yours, and I'll show you mine. Oh, I'm not celebrating. I'm just not doing a live feed this weekend. I might film a video this weekend, but I don't think I'm going to do any live feeds this weekend. Don't 100% know what I'm going to do this weekend. So, 3 people here. So, Jared, what's in your pocket? Jared, what are you EDCing today? I'll do my pocket drop here for you guys. I already got it set up. Just destroyed a couple edges. I got a Tucson TS229 and a Kaiser Infinite. Oh, you're at work. Is that Tucson's 229? Is that the one you sent me that I liked? The top flipper with the Bowie-esque blade. I really did like that. If that's the same one. Is that the one? The TS229? Is that the one that you sent me that I carried and did the review of? With the carbon fiber? If it is, that is a really, really nice knife. Okay. Jared told me what he's got. Let's do a quick, I just pull stuff out of my pockets here and I'd set it down so we can do a pocket drop. So today in my pocket, because I'm a big guy, I got my Ferrum Forge spinner. I have my React Horizon D in titanium and carbon fiber, and I have my Baton 3 Premium. Guys, if you need a flashlight, this is a super nice little flashlight, and I have an affiliate link down below that you can use to get it. I can't remember if you get a discount with my affiliate link, but I think they have a sale going on. They have new items that came out. I got an email about it, but I have not gotten anything. Aiden, you need to go. Did you compare this to a ZT? Get out of here. I don't like ZT. You're absolutely right. This is way better than a ZT. Absolutely 100% better than a ZT. I don't like ZTs. ZTs have too many issues. This knife has 0 issues. But it did have an issue, but it has none now. I opened up the sharpening choil just a little bit because not that it was not a functional sharpening choil, it just I don't like when my plunge and the termination of my edge start to ramp like you get on a lot of knives that don't have a sharpening choil or a finger choil. So this doesn't have a full finger choil. It just has, I just opened that up ever so slightly just because it was a little bit thick right here and I just didn't like the aesthetics of it. So as a knife maker, I was able to do that, and I handed it to Dave Deng, and he looked at it and he was like, I was like, no, I did that. And he was like, I had an actual Rexford. That I got at a knife show, and I had it for all of 12 hours before I sold it for $10,000 fucking dollars. $8,000 in profit. It's the most money I've ever made in 12 hours and left my clothes on. I didn't even have to do any butt stuff. I've got my do not disturb on. I'll look at it after. Oh, I forgot what else was in my pocket. I always have a coin of some sorts in my pocket. A lot of times it's a Command Challenge coin. Today I have my Memento Mori coin in my pocket. I always carry a challenge coin in my pocket. This is just a force of habit. You know, you don't want to show up to a bar and have somebody challenge you. Yeah, I had an actual Rexford. I was not. Don't get me wrong. It was an incredibly nice knife. But was it? I paid $2,000 for it, and I was like, I don't know if it was worth the $2,000. Is it that much nicer than some of my other? And that's another one where I talk about like production quality has increased to a point where are there some makers' knives that you just cannot duplicate? Absolutely. That Michael Randolph, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, handled his knives. You could not duplicate that in a production knife. There is just too much hand tooling and handwork, and it shows. But the Todd Rexford that I had, was it $2,000? Was it $1,600 better than this knife? Absolutely not. You guys never even got to see the Rexford. It never even made it home. I sold it at the show. I picked that up on a Friday night and sold it on a Saturday morning, less than 12 hours. So, yeah, this is, in my opinion, almost as good as that Rexford I had in hand. And some things about this are even better, because the fact is I didn't pay $2,000 for this. If I drop this because I'm using it and I drop it on the floor, I'm not gonna shit my pants. If I dropped a $2,000 Todd Rexford on, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's why that Strider stayed in my safe. Oh, by the way, Jared, my friend was able to sell that Strider. So any of you guys that see that in the video where I'm talking about my friend that is trying to get home to see his parents, he was able to sell that knife. So just disregard that. I meant to put up an announcement on the community tab saying that there's no need for you guys to try and get in touch with me about purchasing that knife. If anybody gets in touch with you, Jared, let them know it's already gone. He was able to sell it the day after or 2 days after we talked about that. I would take this over that Rexford that I had. Jared, you got to handle this one. You got to see this one. Jared actually had this one at his house for a little while. This is my Maker's Choice hand-carved spinner. This thing is nasty sharp. Nasty, nasty sharp. More of a traditional Tonto. I know that Mike Gavick makes one. You can see that it's kind of a Tonto. I think this was the most striking blade shape that they had. It looks really futuristic. I do love this. Yeah, all those scales, all those fish scales that you see on those were all hand carved with a Dremel with a 1/32 end mill. Tiny, tiny, tiny little end mill in a Dremel. The sun bouncing off that car is making it warm in here. So yeah, what's everybody else got in their pockets? There's more people here. We just did a pocket drop. I showed, I had my Baton 3, like this thing is insanely bright. I can feel the heat coming off that, man, on turbo mode. Let's get that turned on. There's medium. There's high. No, there's high. And there's turbo. My God, you can just feel the heat coming off of it. I can't see now. I am going to probably do the drawing for the giveaway. I know that it's already past the end. I'm just giving more people a little bit of chance so that you guys remember. Members, I have 2 new members, Josh Mann and Beardo the Weirdo, 2 new paying members to the channel. And guys, if you want to help out Jared's channel, well, that's too bad. You should find some other way to do it, but don't give him money you could give. I'm just kidding. Jared, I believe Jared has a Patreon. So the, just remember, like guys like me and Jared, even though Jared's got more subscribers than I do now, like 4,000 more, and I don't know how that happened. It's, you know, we can't support our channels on our own. So I have memberships here on YouTube. I do have Patreon, but Jared has a Patreon. So if you guys want to support Jared's channel as well, go over and give it just a little bit. Don't give him a lot. Say, you guys are my subscribers. Come over and give me some money, but then give Jared just a little bit, just a little. You can give some to him, not a lot. Don't give him a lot. Like if you've got a lot, you can give it to me. They went back and went through this. This thing does not get high. Tested it, even on turbo for the maximum amount of time you can get on turbo. It will not. You can see paper start to smoke off some of the like the ink, but it won't get hot enough that it even changes the color. And it only stays on. I think it'll only stay on turbo for 1.5 minutes. So like, does it get hot enough that it's uncomfortable? Yeah, but not hot enough to like raise a blister on your finger. So they've went through and they changed it. It won't stay on turbo for more than 1.5 minutes. It's got a built-in timer for that, and then it drops down to high. So, and the button is a lot more difficult to activate. Like you have to push it. I've seen some of the older Olates, and they were kind of touchy. I'm going to do an Olate giveaway next month, I believe. So, like I said, I have an affiliate link for that. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, Jared has a Patreon, whatever. Join my channel. I have a bunch too because I'm one of their affiliates, and I have a whole box of stuff. I have 2 Pew Pew lights. I have well, out here at my workbench, the nicest pen I own is an Olate O pen. It probably needs charged. If you haven't seen these guys, these are really nice. But I guess they're doing a sale. They have a new item that's up. I haven't gotten a chance to get any items in lately. So I just have my affiliate link up. But I definitely will be there. Nice. I remember the power locks. Those SOG power locks were the nicest. They were the nicest multi-tool, and you can't get them anymore. Those are the ones that had the gears in them. I like this because it's just perfect for this. I mean, it's not heavy. It looks fat and bulky, and the fact that this has the little portable charger case that you can just drop this down in the charger case, and it will charge it in the case, and you can take the case and put it in your pack, put this in your pocket. But I mean, in all honesty, this thing lasts even on high. I left this thing on high for like 100 minutes or 120 minutes, something like 2 hours. The only thing I'm not such a big fan of, I do understand it's magnetic, and so it is nice to be able to stick it to things. You can see that it's magnetic. Hey Frank, where you been? I gave you a little bit of leeway, and I left you on the support tile for a while, but I did take you off. These are The magnetic thing is cool, but if you're a knife maker, it can be problematic because you got to put, what I'll usually do is put some tape on the end because the metal dust starts sticking to it. So I'll put this in my pocket, and then the next thing you know, it looks like a chia pet. And so it gets to looking like a chia pet. And you're like, ah, crap, because you'd be surprised how much metal dust makes it into your pockets. I don't take my phone out near the grinder anymore. Or if I do, I put it inside a Ziploc baggie because I noticed that people couldn't hear me, and I realized that I had metal filings all in the speaker holes and all around the camera. I was getting ready to like turn it around so I could show you the camera on this while I'm using it. But the magnetic recharger on the pistol lights is great because you don't have to take the light off to pull the battery out, and then you're not down. And it's magnetic. It's a magnetic lead, so you can have it on your bedstand charging, and then when you pull away, it pops right off. It's actually really, really. I never thought that I would be a guy that would always have a little EDC flashlight in my pocket. I was like, I won't need that. I use this all the time. I can't tell you how many times I'll come downstairs and the next thing you hear me yell, because now we have the balcony and my daughter can drop stuff from the bedroom upstairs. I'm like, hey, go grab this. And grab my flashlight off my dresser. Drop it down to me. This morning already. So, yeah, this is always in my pocket. Like even during the day when you wouldn't think I would need it. Got to remember to separate the phone from it. I keep my phone in my hip pocket and my light in my left front pocket. The moonlight mode on that is great. Like I can use that light in the bedroom and not wake my wife up. So yeah, that's what I got in my pocket. I hadn't carried this in a while. Like I've been carrying my Norseman pretty much exclusively and my Master Blaster. So it was my Norseman and my Master Blaster. And I was like, you know what? I left my Norseman on the dresser on purpose. I was like, I've got to carry other stuff. Plus I have a whole bunch of knives from Jared that haven't been carried yet. I think the Sencut that you sent me is going in my pocket today. Guys, since there's like 8 of you here, I know you probably get tired of me. The members only giveaway for this month for the baseline and premium tier is a Ferrum Forge Prolix, and I will be doing that drawing. Let's do it. Let's do it tomorrow. We'll just do it tomorrow. What's today? Today the 3rd, the 2nd. We'll do it on the 3rd. That way I'm not interrupting anybody's stuff. I will just do another live feed tomorrow where we actually just pick the results and we'll just pick the winners. I've noticed as I've gotten older that I need a little bit more light to get things into focus if I don't have my reading glasses. I actually have to use reading glasses now. There's a reason that I get that we're at a specific distance. I can still read you guys' comments. If I get too far away, I can't see the comments. I'm sorry, if I get too close, I can't see the comments, get out of focus. I have to have reading glasses now. And it's just one of those things. I'm almost 47. It's not gonna use my distance vision is still great. So there's 7 people here and only 4 likes. But yeah, I was like, I haven't carried this in a long time. I was like, I gotta get that. I gotta get that going. So I had to get this out of the case and carry it. It needs a little touch up. It got I think between sending it to Jared and carrying it a couple times with stuff in my pockets, I don't think Jared, I don't think you did any cutting with the Ferrum Forge, but like just in travel and stuff like that, it needs a touch up because I do use this knife, even though I don't use it as much as some of my other knives because it's so special and especially the anodizing being what it is. And then the blade, the way Elliot did the ceramic on the blade is just, it's perfect. It's kind of black and brown, black and bronze. And so I don't like to carry it too much because it would be really hard for me to duplicate the finish on that. But I do carry it and I do use it. I use all my knives. This is a workhorse. I'll tell you what's going to wind up getting carried a lot today. Which one? This one? The Marlin. My hand-carved Marlin. There's Beardo the Weirdo. So you can see Beardo the Weirdo has got a green icon next to his name, which means he is a new member. As a matter of fact, the newest member to the premium tier on the channel. I was just telling everyone, Beardo, the giveaway for this will be, I will pick the winner of the giveaway for this knife and this knife tomorrow. I'm going to set myself a reminder. I actually may do it today. I have not decided. It just depends. I might do it later this afternoon. Just keep your eyes open. Something got spilled on this. Somehow. Not gonna lie to you guys, I did use this knife. Down the side, your custom. That one with the orange strip down the side. The orange strip? Which orange strip? Knife, my custom with the orange strip down the side. I can't think. I do believe so. Oh, that's not an orange strip. That's actually, let's go get it. Let's go get it, since I don't think you've ever really gotten to see it then, Beardo. That's actually a copper inlay. That's what I'm going to replace. I'm actually going to replace the, we'll go get my Master Blaster. Because my, what was this? Can anyone... No, I mean, it got used because I did some cut testing with it. It's another one of those AR-RPM knives, so I wasn't worried about it getting rid. Had it been one of the D2 knives, I wouldn't have used it if I was planning on giving it away. We'll pull that out. Actually, you know what we're going to pull out? You're talking about this one. That's actually a hammered-in copper inlay that Elliot carved, and so it was a big block of copper that stood up above the actual... Here. Turn that around. It stood up above the, you can see the difference in material. So he milled out a slot and then hammered in this piece of copper, and you can see that it's taller than the rest of the knife. And so it was it was a billet of copper that was pounded in there, and then he just hand carved that into the shape so it had a spine. That is I love this knife so much. Actually, yeah, that's what's going to go in my pocket. I was actually going to grab this and put this big beast in my pocket. But this, if you watched the video yesterday, is not a pocket-friendly EDC. This takes up a ton of space. What was that? Yeah, it was meant to look like. Elliot knows I like the biomechanical Geiger-esque stuff that he does, and so that was a gift to me. And so Elliot did that knife, and as opposed to a maker's choice, it was more about making a knife in his maker's choice fashion that would suit me, because usually he doesn't give a crap, you know. It's a maker's choice. So what was that? It looks so alien. Yeah, that was beautiful. I haven't gotten to do any Magna Cut stuff yet. Hello? Have you come to hang out with us for a little bit? I don't think she wants to play with you yet, Cayenne. Hi, sweetie. Look at that tail. She loves cats. My wife put a collar on this one already. Cayenne, she does not want you to come out. She's not used to you yet. That's not Tiger. She's looking at me like, are you sure I can't come out? You don't think I should? I think I should. Okay, you can come to me. Just leave the kitty be. Did the kitty stay? Wow, look at that. Hang on a second, guys. Check this out. We're bonding. No, Cayenne, no. We are bonding and forming new friendships. She wants to play with that cat so bad. Cayenne, no. Leave her be. She's going to scratch you, but look at that tail. I know, but that's not our cat. That's not Tiger. Come on, go in the house. Cayenne, house. House. Such a good dog. So yes, we are trying to form a friendship between them because the cat's always in the garage. Every time I've got the garage open, stop trying to climb up my leg. I'm trying to get it set up so I can do anodizing here. Matt might be giving me his anodizing stuff to just keep here at the house because he has no way to set it up. All I would have to do is just move stuff out of the way. I just would want to. The stuff is the stuff that you use can be a little hard on a wood workbench, so I would. It's not going to stay permanently out here. I have a folding table I would probably use for that. So I'm probably just going to start doing some anodizing here. Problem is I can't do a lot of the finish work here. I can do like orange peel and things like that, but I don't have a buffing wheel for my grinder yet. So we'll see. Those things may change. Problem with a buffing wheel is it would have to be on the side of my grinder, and so it would wind up, I can't do like a mirror polish because it would always, no matter how hard I try, it's going to get cross-contamination from the grinder. So, I don't know. I talked to Elliot a couple days ago when I told him that Cliff Stamp had passed. He mentioned that he's getting things set up, but I don't know. I'm just going to play it by ear, taking things the way they come. No, actually, stainless steel table, plastic is best because multi-etch will fuck up even stainless steel. Like it eats titanium. So that's what you gotta worry about. It'll get on stuff and just ruin it. It's a base. It's a bleach based. It's almost like a bleach. It will bleach your clothing and things like that. I can't tell you how many shirts I have. Well, the prime case is the bye Frank. Prime case in point is the All Coast Construction hoodie that hangs on the back of the door, like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, back of the garage door here, kitchen door, I mean. And that's because, Ace, what's up? It's gotten so much multi-etch on it. It's got big splotches of orange where it bleached it. So I want to be real careful and make sure that if I'm doing, I've got to get to a point where if I'm doing stuff like that and I'm grinding, I got to wear clothes that I don't want to screw up, or that I don't care if I screw up. So, you know, there's just some things that, you know, I have work pants and then I have regular pants. If I'm just sharpening, it doesn't matter. But I definitely don't want to wear a nice shirt because I have a tendency to. I have all these shirts that have like 2 holes, and it's because I absolutely will grab the knife and wipe it off and cut the shirt. So, what's up, John? Well, we're only 20 minutes in. These are usually an hour. So, do you guys like the new format? I know a lot of you guys probably already saw the new video where I show a YouTube channel in the background that is a channel that I watch regularly. Let's turn this. I want to turn. Sorry, kitty. That's right in my eye. I thought that was a cool idea to like give you guys, because everybody's like, oh, I bet you watch this and I bet you watch that. And I tell people I don't watch other knife channels really very often. I watch Jared's stuff mainly because I can make a comment and Jared will usually pin it up and I can have a little bit of a conversation with Jared because I love live feeds. The live feeds are so much fun. So I just thought it would be cool so you guys get a little insight into what I watch. Guys, my workbench is absolutely empty, which is a bad thing. Oh, on Bobby D's Friday Night Knives, I like Bobby. I like Bobby enough, I gave him a knife. I made a knife for him. I just it hadn't gotten finished yet. There are still just a couple things as far as abrasives that I still need to get. I need to get a power strap, a leather belt for some stuff. Later, Aiden. I need to get a leather a leather 2x72, and I need to get a buffing wheel, and I imagine I could kind of keep the buffing wheel separate if I bag it up every time I'm done using it. So the weird thing is that grinder I have does not have your typical 1-inch or 1/2 inch arbor. it has a 5/8, which meant that I had to get a arbor reducing bushing to put inside the wheel. And so like it's just one of those things that you got to just play around with. So I mean I could, but I don't, it's fine. I don't I don't really need to do that. I prefer to have it happen organically. If you want to, like, I know that your moderators do it. Like every time I log in, they post it up, and I appreciate it. It just doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem fair to do that on somebody else's channel. Like I wouldn't go on somebody else's channel. I wouldn't want. I get it. I think you think it's smart, but I wouldn't. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. Okay, I mean, if you're cool with it, that's fine. It just feels, I don't know, it feels wrong. I am going to try and get my canopy set up and finish surface grinding on that knife today, but I have some other stuff I have to do. I have to get my VA paperwork sent off for a lawyer to help me with my VA claim. So, I don't know, guys, which would you rather do? Would you rather that when I get done with this, I do a separate live feed for the giveaway? Or would you rather do it tomorrow? It's up to you guys. I mean, I'll do the giveaway video. It's not being prideful. It just feels rude. Like, I get upset when people do certain things on my channel. And I just, like, I don't know. Like I said, it's not, that's going on Jared's comment section and posting up a link to my own thing is, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah, that's true, and it gives everybody another day. So tomorrow, we'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, Jared's right. We'll do it tomorrow. So if you haven't entered into the giveaway, go find my June giveaway. I did it here a couple weeks ago. So, like I said, the two things, CJRB Myalia and the Ferrum Forge Prolix. What are the best smaller knives? Well, Greg, that's a good question. I just did a video about that. You can go find that, and it's 5 pocket-friendly EDC knives, and unfortunately, there aren't, I'm not gonna lie to you. You guys, I know that I want to be able to buy American too. I'm just not seeing quality in a lot of American knives. Well, I'll tell you what, you're welcome to do it on my channel too. If that's the case, that's fine. If you make a comment, feel free to link your channel, Jared. And if you guys don't follow Jared, you absolutely should. And if you don't, yeah, like if you support channels, if you got some free capital, like I said, nothing that me and Jared do free. The Ferrum Forge, when I mentioned in a box, you mean the one I couldn't pass up putting back in my pocket, is my Ferrum Forge Master Blaster. So, Greg, what I was going to say is, like, I don't... American companies just aren't getting it these days. A case in point. So, fuck, I can't even think of the name of the company now. Millet. So Millet has some nice looking knives, but I have not had a Millet that was worth a shit. They're like Benchmade. They're off center. They're missed ground. You try to play with them to get the action. By the time you get the action where you want it, it's way off center and it's almost rubbing the sides. I can't, you know. And it's expensive. I haven't seen like American made. I love that Spartan Harsey, and that's an American made knife, and it's in a price range that is not over the top. But the fact is, most American knives are higher in price, lower in quality than what I'm seeing come out from other production companies, which is why, like, do I want America to succeed? Absolutely. But the second I mention what we need to do that, which is the sacrifice that guys like me in the military gave, and do you know why we were the greatest country in the world after World War II? Because you had a bunch of guys come back from war that understood the concept of sacrificing for the greater good. And so when I mentioned that, I was, oh, great, but you want me to take like a dollar pay cut? And I was like, I just said sacrifice is gonna, I wanted to make knives. I sacrificed a stable income to run my own business. So it's, you know, oh no, I love I don't even make knives with the We Knife Company guys anymore. I still talk to them pretty regular. I haven't had any problems. I'm kind of upset with some things that are happening with Artisan, and it has nothing to do with my knife or the production of the knife or the quality. It's something aside from that. And I was really upset the other day, and I need to call Russell back and give him an apology and say, hey, you know, I was kind of upset that night, and it was just one more thing. It was like the straw that broke the camel's back. So, I mean, American companies have nothing to complain about because they've done it themselves. Like, I reached out to try and get people to make one of my knives production, and they're like, well, you have to pay us up front. I was like, why do I have to pay you? I was to license the design. I don't want you to make it. I'm not trying to do OEM. I want you to make it and sell it and give me a little piece of it. And they're like, no, you have to pay us up front for this and this and this. I was like, well, shove it up your ass. It's not happening. Hey, what's up, David? So that's one of the problems. Like, there's a reason that these aren't made in-house anymore. You don't see, I got news for you, Greg. You want me to make you a knife, you're looking at $600 to $800. And I'm not even that good of a knife maker because of the costs. So, I mean, if that's the way you want to play it, that's fine. I just don't make folding knives. The reason that you can't get these knives, the reason Chris and Elliot no longer make knives in shop is because of the cost. Why? Like, doing all the work, like there's no money in making it. I'm telling you right now, that's why I don't make too many knives these days. There's no money in making a knife and selling it, making them one at a time. There's no money in it. None. There's not much money in doing a production design either. But at least I'm not the one doing it, and it's a constant passive income. I don't have to be out at the grinder to do it. The fact is, I know, but I appreciate that. But the fact is, like, by the time, even if I sell a knife for $600, $800, I'm not making any money on that. At least a day to get the cutout, rough grind and surface grinding, at least. Sometimes longer. It depends on how bad the steel was and how much work you had to do and whether it was already water jetted or if you're doing it by cutting it out with an angle grinder. So there's that. Then the next day is heat treat and touch up. And so after heat treat, you got to check for warpage and then surface grind again. You want it as straight as possible when you do heat treat. You want it as flat as possible. But you also want, when it comes out of heat treat, there's a possibility it took a little bit of fucking warp. So then you have to account for that. Then you have to clean everything up after heat treat. Then you have to mock up handles, make handles, get everything ready, then start grinding. Heat treat is about 10 hours. Cutting out a blank and getting it prepped ready for heat treat is about 10 hours. Making handles and getting everything mocked up because you've already punched your holes and everything. That takes a long time, especially if there's depending on material. If the material's not the thickness you want, you don't have a bandsaw, you try and get down to the thickness you want, you cut out your pieces. That takes about a day, and then you have to clean up because it makes a hell of a mess, which takes a while. Then you start grinding. And after grinding, you have to do finishing. It could take 60, 80 hours to make a knife. See where I'm going? If I got 80 hours into a knife and I sell it for $800, I didn't even make $10 an hour. You see what I'm saying? There's no money in it. So you want to know why you're not seeing custom makers make knives anymore. And that's because I can't duplicate the quality that's coming out of production companies these days, because they actually, like, people are like, well, these production knives are better. What are you talking about? My bathroom never smelled mold. I don't know what you're talking about. The bathroom never smelled moldy. Are you? I think you're talking about the bedroom at the old house and we don't even live there anymore. So at any rate, you just can't, as a knife maker, unless you're a super well-known, like Todd Bagg, at this point Jim Skelton, some of these other guys that do Mick Strider, Anthony Marfian. If you're doing construction knives, no, I wouldn't have moved in if it looked a bit moldy. We would not have rented this place when we did the walkthrough. I would not have even moved in. I've been like, no, shove that. So, I forget what I was going to say. Completely sidetracked me. So yeah, I was going to say, so production knives have reached a point where I can't compete with a construction knife. And especially now that people have figured out, John Grimsmo started it, and now there's knives out there that are CNC'd that look like they were done on a burger grinder. And I'm like, wow, that's freaking impressive. So, I mean, there are companies that do it, that you can get a hand ground knife, but I guarantee they're getting these blanks blown out from whatever company provides their steel. I guarantee they're getting the blanks blown out at $5, $4 a pop for water jet, and they're just sizing them. The holes are already blown out. They're just resizing the holes, possibly having somebody do heat treat for them. So a lot of these companies that you see, this is just my opinion, not to besmirch a company, but a lot of these companies that you see that have the US made moniker, I would imagine that they're getting a lot of machining done offshore. And then they're assembling, and I mean, don't get me wrong, just assembling knives. The reason that Chris and Elliot don't do this anymore is because even at $500 a knife, the amount of time that's tied up in each knife, they could do like 2 knives a day. But when you figure that the cost of running the shop and the equipment and all that stuff, and the electricity and the rent of the shop and the water and gas to and from the shop, at $500 a knife. And then, but here's the thing, they don't get $500 a knife. They have to sell them to a vendor, and a vendor wants a cut. A vendor wants a lower price. So it just doesn't make sense these days to make knives one at a time. It really doesn't. I don't know how many more I'm gonna make. The whole point of making one was just to make a few, see if people liked them, and then provide that design. Abrasives, that's the other one. Abrasives are fucking expensive. Those belts that I use are about $3 a pop. And when you figure just in rough grind, a 20 CV that's already been hardened, your first one, that belt's pretty much ruined because that sharp edge that was on it, it just rips the abrasive right off. Well, I mean, good luck, because everything is made there, even if it says it's made in America. That Boeing 747, you can tell everyone that's an American-made thing, but I guarantee you that 99.9% of the equipment and the circuitry and the parts for that plane were made in China and provided to Boeing. The whole world is made in China. Don't let people fool you, because the fact is, people can claim that something, if they add more than 50%, if they add 51% of the overall cost of that item by just assembling here in the United States, that's an American-made product. As long as 51% of the overall value of that item came from the continental United States, or not even just the United States, and period, it's an American-made product. And so, like I said, Jared, I would hazard to guess that there are a lot of those knives that you think are American made, that the majority of the parts of that knife were made in China. But here's a point: ferrocerium rods. My friend Justin owns Fiberlight fire starters. I just said, here's the thing. You have to be willing to sacrifice. And if that means that companies take a cut and things like that for a while to be able to produce, that's just how it is. And if people aren't willing to sacrifice, and we drop inflation so that our average wages, the only way to do it is become self-sufficient. But there are some things that you can't make here in the United States. Everybody wants to say, oh, we've got to get off of China. The batteries that run everything you own, all of the raw materials come from China or Russia. The titanium that are in your knives, China or Russia. The iron ore that's in the steel that's in your knives, China or Russia. Our government basically shut down the steel industry in this country. And then want to know why we can't make anything American-made anymore. There's a company back home that was producing steel in my hometown in Ohio, producing steel in this country for GE and some other places, and they shut down because it was cheaper, because of all the restrictions that the American government put on steel production in this country. It was cheaper to import steel from China to then use here. It was cheaper to bring it from China than it was to get it from Ohio. California has some of the highest taxes in this country, and they constantly are begging for federal support for all these issues that they can't sustain their own thing. If you go up to Northern California, this is a resource heavy state, but every time you try to do something, pumping stations for desalinization and water purification to provide for the people, oh, you can't do that because of this fish that doesn't swim so well. There's all kinds of things that in California could be self-sufficient, but they have restricted what you can do and can't do, and the resources you can and can't use. There's enough free-flowing water in Northern California that they could run pretty much most of this country, or this state, self-sufficient, fresh water and hydroelectric, and if they were to start doing nuclear power plants. But they don't want to do. You know why your electric bill is so expensive? Because green energy isn't efficient, and it costs more to produce. You pay for conventional electricity for them to try to make green electricity work. And solar is not as efficient. Wind basically does nothing. All these things that everybody thinks are great, when you look at them, that's why everything's more expensive, because they're trying to do things that we're not ready to change yet. California just said, California pushing this thing, there will be no more internal combustion engine cars in California sold within the next 10 years. I think that was Gavin Newsom's thing. You can't buy one in California. It has to be an electric or a hybrid. Internal combustion has got to go. But they just sent out a thing saying that to help support the infrastructure and power grid, that they want people that own electric cars to stop charging their cars. You got to stop using these electric chargers so much. You're damaging, you're draining the power grid, and now we have to do these rolling blackouts. You're the ones that are pushing the electric cars. If you can't support it with your infrastructure, you don't sell it. There's a lot of people out here in California that are the smartest dumb people I've ever met. I've got a college degree. I know more than you. Really? I know that if you can't support electric cars, you don't push the sale of electric cars. It's just that simple. If your power grid isn't sufficient, you don't add more drain. And the fact is, if you bought an electric car right now, when you look at the majority of power production in this country, your car now runs on coal. I don't get it. But I get all angry, and these are things that I'm really not supposed to say. Don't forget, the biggest threat to the environment is those hamburgers that you're eating. That's, you can't even make that up. That's just, I don't even watch comedy shows anymore. I just watch the news. I'm like, you can't make this up. This is better than any comedy show I've ever seen. What's up, monster? I believe I'm gonna put this on my belt and carry it all day today. No, I can't. I gotta return a bunch of. I have to return a bunch of fucking Amazon stuff. We buy a lot of stuff on Amazon just because it's easier. It's hot in this garage right now with that sun bouncing in off those cars. So, no, I'm not saying it's not a good idea. I'm just saying, like, make decisions like the guy that I was arguing with about the gun show loophole that doesn't exist. I'm like, God, look, you got to look at it. Like, don't just, you heard someone say something on a YouTube video one time, or heard somebody say something on this, go look at it. ATF patrols those. They have people undercover at gun shows looking for people that are violating the rules. And to say that people are going to do that, they're like, well, gun shows are private sales. No, they're not. If you go to a gun show and you're a vendor, you have to be registered the same as a business. You have to follow the same rules. What was that, Matt? How's the new house? It's great. I basically have, my dad had his basement where he had a rocking chair and a radio. I have my garage where I have a workbench, a TV, and a really comfortable lounge chair and my own little coffee table here. I need to get some stuff cleaned up off of it, but these Timber Ridge folding chairs, I got this at Costco. This thing is super comfortable. And I just sit there and watch TV when I'm done working on knives. There's all my power tools. When we get everything completely done out here in the garage, I will give you guys a tour of the new shop. But I mean, basically, I'm still trying to figure out. There's stuff in this table area. There's stuff here I'm getting rid of as we go. So nice new little addition, and I didn't even think about it, is because all my stones sat in a drawer. I made this so that I can have my stones sit. So there's a spot for them to dry, a spot for them to soak, and it keeps less water. This was always the thing. This always sat here, and water just got spilled everywhere. So I actually went to the point where I put little feet on this, just like I did here, to lift this up so this isn't sitting directly on the thing, so it has air underneath and it can dry. And the fact is, I've had a couple people, including John Grimsmo, tell me that the more comfortable you make your workspace, the more time you will spend in it. That's absolutely true. I would say I spend 99% of my time out here in the garage. And even though it gets kind of warm this time of day, within like a couple more hours, it's going to cool down, and it's still better than being out in the sun. Well, we don't even park the cars in here. The cars stay out all the time. They're out. I would like to get a car cover for our cars, because the landscaper, like, even if I washed him next Tuesday, because he comes every other Tuesday, it would be impossible to keep them clean. Ooh, I'll show you what happened. This is why I hate people. Are like, why don't you take your stones and go to some shows? Every time I've ever taken my stones anywhere, this happens. Big chunks got knocked off of this stone. Big chunk got knocked off of this stone in the move. Corner got knocked off of this natural Arkansas stone that was my grandfather's. So it's every time we do this, every time I've ever taken my stones anywhere, they've gotten severely damaged. So even though I packed them up nice and clean and everything, it's almost impossible. That's the nice thing, is that neither one of those stones were very expensive. Those stones were about $20 each. Those are just the 1,000 grit, just like king stones. None of my expensive stones got damaged. Well, you know what? I probably shouldn't say that, because I don't believe I ever checked the expensive stone, the real expensive one. Nope, she's fine. So yeah, I am back open for sharpening, guys. This is pretty much the end of it. We're up here. I got like 6 minutes left, so we'll just talk about a couple more. I am open for sharpening. I'm doing all this stuff. I got links to these shirts. These are the Ember Shirt Co. stuff. They are super comfortable. And I don't wear these all the time just because I try to get them in videos to get you guys to buy them. I wear them because these are probably some of the nicest t-shirts. David, if you're still here, you can tell them these are some of the most comfortable t-shirts I've owned. They felt kind of thin when I first got them, and they wear really well. I'm not seeing any wear. These get washed all the. But the nice thing is they're 100% cotton, but they don't feel like it really. And then when you wear them, it's almost like wearing Under Armour. They keep you cool. They're not a very warm shirt. They're not heavy shirt. They wear well. They're comfortable, and the printing they did is just incredibly nice. This is one of their designs. This is the Primitive Hook design. So I do believe this needs a touch up. I say that, and that's just because you're back. Nothing. I was just talking about the shirts that I got from Ember Shirt Co. How nice these were. I'm out of coffee. So this is Ember Shirt Co. This is my friend's printing company. I have an affiliate link down below. So they have all kinds of designs. They have my design and stuff like that. So I have an affiliate link down there. These shirts are super comfortable. So it's embershirtco.com. But if you go down below, I have an affiliate link where you go to it. And if you use the affiliate link, you get entered into the big $2,000 giveaway that they're having. They're giving away $2,000 worth of prizes, including a Medford folding knife, an iPad. The shirts, I don't believe are, but it's a veteran-owned, veteran-operated. The shirts are printed here. So they get the shirts in bulk, and then they just print them. So all the printing is done here and everything. So, I mean, Textiles is another company that took a big hit. You can't get, for price range, there aren't many shirt companies that are using American-made t-shirts anymore. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the ones that I've gotten that were American-made were really heavy and thick. And this isn't. It's really comfortable. So, but it is a veteran-owned. Justin is a Marine. It's veteran-owned, veteran-operated. A lot of the designs were fellow veterans. Joe Menard, myself, David Horstman. So I think the shirts are made in Bangladesh, maybe. I can't remember. But they're really, really nice shirts. But they do a really, really good job. They bought their own printing setup up in Oregon? I think they're in Oregon. They might be in Washington. I don't remember. But yeah, veteran-owned, veteran-operated, retired, or prior Marine, and his boys. Same guy that owns Fiberlight Fire Starters, which is another company that was like, well, why don't you just use American? This is what I was getting. Ferrocerium rods, Fiberlight Fire Starter. Everybody's like, well, you should use American ferrocerium rods. Why are you getting them from China? You can't get ferrocerium in the United States. It's not something they have here. So every ferrocerium rod you ever buy, even if it's from an American company, like Bic, uses ferrocerium for their strikers and lighters. That's an American company. All the ferrocerium all the ferrocerium rods you're ever going to buy, every one of them came from China. It's not something we produce. Like the rare earth minerals and elements for batteries come from China and Russia, things like that. Titanium, majority of titanium comes from Russia. The ore, I should say. So, like, I mean, I can't fault them for wanting to provide a quality product at a price that people can afford. Everything on it says Ember. It doesn't even have a tag. I just told you, you have to go look at it, Greg. I'm not going to get into the whole thing. I'm not going to take my shirt off and show you. They source them from Bangladesh. It says that the shirt was made in Bangladesh in the tag, but it also has the size and everything. And they print that on there so it's not deceptive. So all the printing is done here. They just buy the shirts in bulk like every other company. Every other company. And I don't mean to be rude. I mean, it's just, it gets into semantics. Does it matter where the t-shirts came from? Because all the printing, all the dyeing, all that stuff came from came from here. Well, not the dyeing, but like all the print screening, all the setup, all that stuff was done here by an American company. So, because I got news for you. If you're trying to buy an American-made only product, you're gonna have like 3 things: toilet paper. Can't say fish because most of the fish that you eat comes from Chinese fisheries. Maybe beef jerky. Maybe tuna, and paper towels. That's about the only mass-produced stuff we make in America anymore. Yeah, I don't give a fuck where they got the shirts. As long as they're the ones that are doing the manufacturing of the silk screening and all that stuff, I don't give a crap where they got all the other stuff from. So I it used to be that you get a lot of good cotton stuff here in the United States. You still can, but the fact is, like, you're not going to get it at a price that makes sense for you to be able to turn around and sell it. Like if I was just buying plain white t-shirts, yeah, absolutely. But I don't know if you've looked at the price of underwear and things. It's I don't wear cotton underwear anymore. I wear Adidas. The Adidas, like the stretchy neoprene kind of like Under Armour style underwear. So much more comfortable. I don't wear cotton underwear like my balls try to eat them. Like, why are they so bunched up? So, well, guys, it's been an hour. I'm gonna get off of here. Enjoy your 4th of July weekend. Don't do anything stupid. Watch out for dumb people on the road. There's gonna be a lot of drunk, dumb people. I don't know what we're doing yet. I don't think we're going to do anything. We may see about walking up the hill and see if we can watch the fireworks out over the ocean from just around the corner over here, because it's not that far from here to the ocean. And I don't know if we'll even be able to see them, but the fact of the matter is, it's just fireworks. So, guys, I'm gonna get off of here. Like I said, Ember Shirt Co. There's an affiliate link down below. They have all kinds of designs, but you're not just supporting. I really don't have a lot of. Streamlight would be the only other thing, Greg. Streamlight. Streamlight, and I honestly can say I prefer the O-lights to the Streamlights. I don't like the Streamlights as much. Not that they're any difference in like quality of production. I just don't like the lights that they have. There's a lot better selection from O-light that meets my day-to-day needs. So flashlights, I got you. Streamlight would be the only other one that I could really think of. I know that there's a couple others out there, but typically Streamlight and O-light, those are the ones that pop into my head when you're talking about like nice quality EDC flashlights. So that's about it, guys. Take it easy. Like I said, enjoy yourself. There's only 6 people here. If you guys haven't already given me a like, drop a like on your way out, and I will see you guys next time.